Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So if you watched yesterday's video, you know that we picked a few more tomatoes, but we got a really good second picking of the green beans. And so this morning I'm going to process those green beans and show you how I do that to put those up for the wintertime. So not a big deal to the process. I'll go through the process with you here in a second. I did save Todd some. He mentioned yesterday that he would like to try some fresh beans, cook them up with a little bit of bacon. So I got those set aside for him. The other ones are going to go ahead and process, and we've got a pretty good batch. So most of these I will blanch and freeze. The other ones I'm going to blanch and probably dehydrate some. So I'll show you all that. Let me show you the setup. So what I will do is I will snap these beans, snap the ends off, and probably snap them in the middle. I will put the pieces in there for the compost pile. The other parts will go in there and we'll wash those up, rinse those off, and then we'll strain them off. Over here, I will have boiling water with some salt in it. So it'll be boiling salt water. I have that at a rolling boil. We'll drop in small portions of green beans, bring them back to a boil, let them boil for 15, 20 seconds. We're just trying to kill the enzymes, pull those out, and then they will go over here into this. This will be an ice bath. So I have water, some salt water, and ice in that. Make the ice bath, get them cooled back out, stop the cooking process. So we'll bag them from there, or we'll get them out on the dehydrator sheets. And so let me get started. So this is a pretty easy process. So you can either snap these or cut them. If they snap real easy, they're crispy, they'll just snap. For me, it's almost and I'm just throwing those over there into the end portion. Okay, so now I got the beans done. I got these washed up. I got them snapped up, washed off. I had the cut-offs over in here that will go out in the compost. And I have water in my pot over here. And I have the fire going underneath it. So we'll get that hot and get it to a rolling boil. I will be putting some salt in there in just a minute. And then over here I have water for my ice bath. I'll get some salt in there and get it dissolved as well. And then I'll go get the ice out of the shed and get the ice bath going. So just put a handful in here, maybe a little more. There we go. That's plenty. And I will stir this in, let it dissolve. Make sure that's all the way dissolved before I start dropping beans in, but it will be. And I'm going to do the same thing with my ice bath. Get some salt in here, just a handful will be good. And it will take a little longer to dissolve this because the water's cold, but I'll get all this dissolved before I put the ice in here. Okay, we got a rolling boil on our water, so we're ready to go in to blanch the beans. And the way I do this, I do a small amount at a time so that the water doesn't take a long time to come back to boiling. If you put too many in, then they cook too much, I think. So I'm going to put just a couple of good handfuls in there, maybe 3, and that's plenty. I'm not going to put any more than that in there. I'm going to let this come back to a boil, and then we'll fish those out. We will get those cooled and get it back to a rolling boil and start another batch. So we'll get our pan here we're going to use in the blanching pot. So you can see using a small amount with the good fire that I have underneath here. You see it's bubbling off the bottom. It's going to start rolling here in a minute. When it does that, when it comes back to When it comes back to a full boil, I'll let it go for 20, 30 seconds, 30, 35 seconds maybe, and then pull them out because I'm just wanting to kill the enzymes. So I don't want to cook the beans and get them soft. So we're back to a boil there. You can see it's rolling good. If I move it, a good rolling boil is when I stir it, it still keeps boiling. And you can see it's rolling, so we're just going to let it go. I'm just guessing at the time here. And I don't know what that time frame is right there, but I feel like that's plenty. Just from watching the beans, looking at the color, I'm going to go ahead and pull these guys out. So we'll get those scooped out and into the pan we're going to use in the ice bath. Look at the nice green color they've got once you blanch them. Nice bright green, very, very nice looking. Make sure I get them all. Yep, a couple more down in here. All right, I think I got them on. We'll do one more little pass there. Look, A bean. Okay, so that's rolling. I'm not going to start another batch in there just yet. I want to get this into the ice bath, get them submerged, and then I can start my next handful. So we'll let those sit there for a minute. While they're doing that, I'll drop the next batch in here. There we go. That was kind of a quick move. Sorry about that. We'll move back over here. I want to just make sure these are cooled off, and these are nice and cold so they're not cooking anymore. And yep. So I can drain these now. Nice, pretty green looking beans. And I'll put those in the pan, and that's the pan we'll process out of as far as when we go in and start putting those in bags. So set this here or we can bring this with us actually. And that worked out good. We're not quite at a boil. So did I drag that out at a boil? Anyway, we're not quite at a boil here. So it worked out good. But you can tell the difference in the color of the beans, I think. If you look at those, how nice and green colored they are. And off the vine, they're a darker, not as, I guess, fluorescent or incandescent. I don't know, fluorescent, I guess. So, yep, we'll do that. And then I want to check one of these beans over here that, so once you blanch them, they're not as crisp as they used to be, but they're chewing crisp, so that's good. All right, guys, so I got them packaged up. I got 5 bags, vacuum sealed. So those are portion sizes for Minnow and I for one dinner. That'd be great. So there's 5 dinners there, or you can open those up and put them in a stew or whatever, a soup. And then I have 2 trays that I lightly salted, and I have them on dehydrator trays. So I'm gonna go put those in the dehydrator and make us some snacks. All right, guys, so that's it for this one. I appreciate you coming in and checking it out. Hit the like, comment. You can subscribe right up there. Share this, and I just want to let you know I really, really appreciate you guys a lot. I really do. Thanks for coming in, spending a little time with me, and we'll see you on the next one. See ya.